pleasure to serve under your chairmanship, and I'd like to congratulate my honourable friend, the excellent MP for Hastings and Rye, for securing today's important debate. And I wanted to take the opportunity to welcome DEFRA's Environmental Improvement Plan, and Mr Gray, you'll be delighted to know I'm not going to read all of it, which follows on from our Environment Act, Fisheries Act and Agricultural Act in laying out a path to improve our environment and make it a better and more prosperous place for us and our wildlife. Hedgerows are the perfect example of how the Environmental Improvement Plan will positively impact climate change and boost biodiversity. As a hedgerow hero, I am proud to have worked with the Campaign for the Protection of Rural England on their campaign to increase hedgerow coverage by 40% by 2050. The plan announced the target of 30,000 miles of new and restored hedgerows by 2037 and 45,000 miles by 2050, resulting in 360,000 miles of English hedgerows, 10% above the 1984 peak. Hedgerows are that classic symbol of the English countryside, providing a sense of continuity across the changing seasons. They also provide biodiversity's best friend, a stable home for a bounty of flora and fauna. 1 in 9 of the UK's most vulnerable species, such as the hazel dormouse, hedgehogs and the brown hair-streaked butterfly, rely on healthy hedgerows. Hedgerows also play a crucial role on our path to net zero. We all know that planting trees and protecting peatlands are key for capturing and storing carbon, but so are hedgerows. Unmanaged hedgerows are estimated to sequester over 140 tonnes of carbon per hectare, in comparison to 169 tonnes for a 30-year native woodland. If hedgerows are properly managed, they can sequester even more, both in their woody stems and the roots below. Strong hedgerows with healthy root systems also aid soil health and reduce flooding. Farmers recognise these benefits, and more are planting and restoring hedgerows. 86% of farmers believe hedgerows are important to them and their business, recognising the benefits to their land and livestock of developing a healthy and sustainable natural environment. Last month's Elms announcement detailing the establishment of a hedgerow standard in the Sustainable Farming Incentive Scheme in 2023 was a welcome step. As we go forward with our Environmental Improvement Plan, it is vital we continue to support farmers as they invest in sustainable practices. Leaving the EU has given us the freedom to move beyond the basic payment scheme to support farmers in a more targeted manner. Of course I will give way.
I thank the Honourable Lady for giving way. The retained EU law bill only gives us until December 2023 for the adoption or the adaptation of 570 different pieces of legislation on environmental issues. Given the nature crises that we face, does she agree with me that we need to strengthen some of these laws rather than simply retaining them?
I thank the Honourable Gentleman for giving way, and as is so often the case, I do need to correct him on the details of actually that legislation, and that within that sunset clause, that actually we do not actually have to stop everything in 2023. There is an opportunity to extend it beyond, and I, like colleagues on this side of the House, will be continuing to work through to ensure that it strengthens our environmental protections and not reduces them. But as I come back to today's debate on biodiversity and moving towards net zero, it's so important that actually we boost our biodiversity to strengthen our rural economies. And there are so many steps that we have taken that are laid out in this plan that are key to it. And it's fantastic to see that DEFRA, as part of this plan, is recognising the importance of supporting green jobs and careers with apprenticeships across forestry, ecology, countryside management, the water environment and more, especially given that this is National Apprenticeship Week. As we face those more frequent extremes of climate change, we need to ensure our natural environment is healthy and the relationship is sustainable. And by doing what we can, we'll support biodiversity and also harvest the gains the countryside provides on our path to net zero.